Well, if we didn't have enough real estate crises happening already here in my home province of British Columbia, here comes another one. And it has to do with you if you own a strata property here in the province. So that's, I guess, good news for all of you detached owners out there who have been beat up so much on price lately. This time, you're off the hook. And I'm going to tell you the new big thing that you need to be worried about, because you obviously didn't have enough to be worried about going on already, right after I ask you to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on the market. And please do me a favor by clicking that like button to help me get this information out to other strata owners just like you who need something more to worry about. And of course, if you are looking for personalized advice on making a move here within my market of Surrey and the Fraser Valley, you can always go ahead and book a call with me using the link in the description below at a time that works best for you. And now, onto the video. And that real estate crisis that might sound a little bit silly, but trust me, it's going to be a big deal for a lot of strata owners and particularly a lot of strata councils. And that crisis is a complete shortage of licensed strata managers. Yep, every strata has the option of being self-managed or managed by a licensed strata manager. My recommendation, having owned in both types of complexes in the past, is that, well, a strata, really, you should hire a manager or a property management company. Having lived it, trust me, owners running a strata on their own rarely works out well. Not because they don't mean well, but often because they don't know the laws and are too far behind the times to keep up with what's changing. And the simple reality behind that is that council members are volunteers and basically just non-professional strata managers. But there is a very recent article from the Vancouver Sun that highlights this big problem. And let's jump into it. So it's titled BC Suffering an Acute Shortage of Strata Managers. Diving into the article, it starts off by saying the growing demand for multifamily condos and townhouse projects is making an already dire shortage of strata managers in BC even worse. Then it goes on to talk about, of course, the shortage, and that given the value, obviously, of the new construction that's happening and how many units are being constructed currently, there are calls for the provincial government to invest in strata managers. Strata management, just like very similar to a real estate license like I have for trading sales, it's not getting easier for them to become licensed. It only gets harder to do, harder to keep the license. The training isn't there. So hopefully this call starts, kind of rings the alarm and gets people aware that, hey, maybe this is a good job option for you if you're going to be hurting over the next little bit here. But there is a massive shortage and stratas should be concerned. There are currently 1.5 million people living in stratas, and there are only 1,405, they have an exact number, 1,405 licensed managers in the province, according to the governing body of realtors and financial planners and property managers, the BCFSA. But it gets worse. Let's keep going. Now there was an increase. There used to, in 2019, only be just over 1,300. So there have been about 80 property managers come to the market. But at the exact same time as those 80 managers come to the market, more than 500 new strata complexes were added. And to make it even worse, the reality is that of those 1,400 or so strata managers that are out there, the province believes that only between 300 and 500 of them are active. And it sounds like they do believe that that is about half of what they actually need. And just to make it even worse, it appears that 1/3 of those 300 to 500 property managers are set to retire because they're probably baby boomers within the next 5 years. And there is no significant new stream in the pipeline for new managers. So check out this number here. There are about 34,000 strata corporations in the province. So that's actual stratas. 22,000 of those, or 2/3 of those, let's call it, are small, and many of which are self-managed. Then it goes into a little bit of a story here from this Crystal Hunt, but basically the fact that there are no new managers coming into the system means that, well, those strata managers that they do get, they probably won't likely have very good training and experience. Experience is probably, training might be okay, but experience in dealing with a lot of these buildings that need a ton of maintenance and really good guidance from really good property managers. And then it's pointed out that the new generation of newer, taller buildings with hundreds of units, way bigger stratas than we've traditionally been used to here in BC. Well, they come with all sorts of other complexities that the current strata managers, well, who cares if they can get up to date, because a lot of them are even retiring. And really, that is the realities of what a strata manager is. They have to be very good at budgeting financially, providing proper advice, counseling the strata council, because let's face it, they're all humans and they would love to do certain things, but they're not all legal. And then they have to know to contact trades, how to do that, how to look at quotes. It's a very involved job. And there are now calls for the government to invest $1 million at BCIT to create some sort of manager program. And although I'm a realtor, and realtors and property managers often do not get along, I'm going to suggest that this is right, as our properties tend to change from single family to higher density, and we all start living in some sort of strata complex. Well, there's going to be a complete shortage of strata managers, and I don't see the solution happening here in the future. So if you have a good strata manager with your strata, my recommendation is you try and hold on to them just like you would right now with your doctor, as that might be a similar type of situation that we're going to be in the future. Do you think this is a big issue, or it's going to become a big issue? Would you rather live in a complex that is managed by a professional strata manager, or would you prefer to be self-managed? Let me know down below in the comments. And hey, maybe now that the market has slowed down a bunch, there could be a bunch of real estate agents who may be able to transfer their licenses over to strata managers and keep a job. Thanks so much for watching, subscribing, clicking the like button, and we'll see you in a couple of days.